A Philippine Navy patrol ship encountered a Chinese frigate off Occidental Mindoro during a joint maritime exercise between the Philippines and the United States on Wednesday, January 3. The INQUIRER was among the media organizations invited by the Armed Forces of the Philippines as observers of the joint exercise. As Philippine Navy patrol ship BRP Gregorio del Pilar approached a meeting point for the Philippine and U.S. ships off Cabra Island in Occidental Mindoro, it encountered a Jiangkai-class Chinese frigate. The Del Pilar and Chinese Navy warship engaged in conversations through radio message, with Del Pilar sending a message first after confirming that the tiny blip on its radar was a foreign vessel. The Chinese vessel replied, saying that they are conducting lawful activities in their territorial seas, to which the Philippine ship answered that the Chinese warship 570 is within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, and warning them that their actions might affect the Philippine-Chinese relations and will be reported to concerned authorities. The exchange ended when Chinese warship 570 no longer responded. However, shortly before 8 a.m., the Chinese frigate appeared in the vicinity with a backup, bringing the Chinese Luoyang-class destroyer 174. The three-way encounter marked day one of the maritime cooperative activity between the Philippines and the U.S., as the two countries stepped up cooperation in the face of Chinese assertiveness in the South China Sea. The maritime activity was supposed to last for 3 days, but it was shortened to 2. According to Western Command Chief Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos, the presence of Chinese ships shadowing Philippine and U.S. vessels did not interfere with exercises. The U.S. side asked for a 24-hour delay on Tuesday, January 2, due to operational requirements. Moreover, U.S. Navy destroyer USS Terret, one of the escort ships of the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson, was the only American ship to arrive for the exercises. 2 other U.S. warships and the USS Carl Vinson were expected to join but did not show up due to operational necessity. Nonetheless, Carlos said that the maritime activity between the Philippines and the U.S. is still a good training opportunity for both forces. A Commission on Higher Education order for state universities and colleges and local universities and colleges to stop offering senior high school program next school year might displace more than 17,000 grade 11 students. Based on data sent to the INQUIRER, the Department of Education recorded a total of 2.1 million grade 11 students for this school year. Of this number, a total of 17,751 are enrolled in SUCs and LUCs. Education Undersecretary Michael Powas says that those who will be displaced will have 2 options next school year, which is to enroll in public schools or enroll in private schools and avail themselves of the voucher program. Beneficiaries of the voucher program would not be affected as well by the discontinuation of the SHS program because no incoming grade 11 students were accepted in SUCs and LUCs even before the school year started. On December 18 last year, the Commission on Higher Education issued a memorandum directing the governing bodies of SUCs and LUCs to stop offering the senior high school program as there was no longer legal basis to fund the program. In a public briefing on Wednesday, January 3, CHED Chairman Prospero de Vera III said that he would talk to DepEd officials about possibly continuing the subsidies for public universities with senior high school students for next year. The chairman adds that they have been telling public universities for the past 2 years to wind down their senior high enrollment because there is no longer a legal basis for their offering of high school education. De Vera also pointed out that under the law, SUC should only offer degree courses and not high school classes. Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel calls on the Department of Transportation to name the contractors that will supply the mini buses that would soon replace jeepneys in the PUV modernization program. Pimentel says the purchase of vehicles should comply with Republic Act No. 9148 or the Government Procurement Reform Act, since taxpayer money would be used to bankroll the multi-billion peso modernization program for public utility vehicles. Pimentel says he will write to DOTR to identify the suppliers of the minibuses and if there are middlemen who arrange the purchase. Pimentel adds that he was surprised that President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. decided to pursue the PUV modernization program, which was pushed by his predecessor, former President Rodrigo Duterte in 2017, despite the vehement objection of the transport sector. Pimentel also notes that since the program was launched, the government was determined to procure the box-like mini-buses reportedly manufactured by Chinese companies instead of looking for local suppliers. The center also says that suppliers of the minibuses should satisfy the requirements for accredited government contractors. He adds it would be best for the government to temporarily suspend the PUV modernization program indefinitely.